Okay, so the last class we have been working with Visualforce pages, and we have gone ahead, created the input as well as the output field. Right now we are in a position how to divide a page into blocks and blocks into sections, and how to create a tabs, right? How to create a radio button checkbox. We know how to create a list with a single selection and multi-selection. Right? We know how to create a button, link, command button, command link. We know that how to create it. And we know that there are some predefined YAML actions like a save, cancel, edit, delete. So we are in a good position for the Visualforce pages. So let's move on. So today class, okay, so the today class, we will be talking about how to apply certain CSS styles, how to apply a style to the Visualforce page, how to apply a style, which is also called as a CSS style. What is CSS? Cascade style. Cascade style sheet. If you can search in the Google, you will find it. It's a standard HTML CSS style. If you go to the Google, and if you search CSS style, you will find HTML style CSS. What is the CSS? Cascade style sheet. There are different styles we have it. So the today main focus is how to apply style to the Visualforce pages. Right? So before going to the style, let's understand how to insert an image in Visualforce page. How to insert an image into Visualforce page. Right? There are two ways which we can insert an image. One is iframe and another one is image. Using these two, we can insert an image. Using iframe and image. These two are the keywords which by using either of one, we can insert an image. Let me go ahead and create one example how to use iframe, how to use image into Visualforce page. Let's open the developer console. Okay, let me create a new Visualforce page. VF underscore. So today's date is 0206. Let's say image style. Okay. Now the first thing whenever I'm creating the style, the first thing I want is sidebar, I do not want. And show header, I do not want. Next, image. Let's go with the image first. So how to use an image? There is a command called apex image. So here there are two things are there, apex image and apex iframe. So let me go ahead and use the image. Okay. So in image, there are different keywords are there. Height, width, on click of the image, on key up, on mouse over, style, title, URL, value, width, everything is there. We can use it as needed. Right now, I'll go with the URL. I'll go with the URL. Okay. Which image should we insert it? Let me go ahead and search an image. Salesforce Dreamforce. Salesforce Dreamforce. Let me just search the Dreamforce. You all know this Dreamforce, right? This is the event which happens in the Salesforce every year. So let me take this, find, copy the image address. Let me open in here. Right, I'm getting the image, right? So let me go ahead and use this in my Visualforce page. Whatever the image URL I have copied, same thing we can apply. Same thing we can apply. Save. Let's go ahead and preview. See here, why the show header is coming. Show header false. Okay, now it's in. So it automatically adjusts the height and width because that is it's whatever the standard width is there, that the same standard width is taken. But if I take any other image which is a full width, copy the image address. Let's go ahead and use it. Okay, so whatever the standard width is there, it will take the standard width, right? And for example, this is on top, it is displaying. Okay, below I wanted to have a tabs. We created a tab panel, right? Yesterday we created a tab panel. So below the image, I wanted to show a tab panel. If I wanted to show the tab panel, how to do that? We all know that apex colon tab panel. So inside this tab panel, let me add apex colon tab, right? So let me add the label here, label equal to tab 1. So like tab 1 will create another, let's assume that another 4 tabs are created. Tab 2, tab 3, tab 4, tab 5. Let's save it. Let's come here, image auto refreshed. See here, it is displaying the tabs. So if I click on this, it is refreshing and opening the same tab. In case if I wanted to reduce the height, right? Height is too much. Okay. In case if I wanted to reduce the height and width, the image URL will have the commands called height and width. Let's assume I'll say that width equal to 600. Let's see how it displays. See here. Image is reduced. Right? Image is reduced. Like this, I can add a multiple images. Like this, I can add a multiple images. For example, I have another Dreamforce image. Copy the image address. Let's try this, how it is displaying. Okay, let me take this. Okay, let me go back to the developer console. If I wanted to add another image, apex colon image. And what I need to pass, I need to pass the URL. Right? And then Let's see how it displays. As soon as I click on save button, it is displaying it, right? So this is how it is displaying, and below the image, I have a 2 tabs. Perfectly fine. So this is a URL. URL I'm directly taking from the Chrome. Okay, that means from the third party. I'm directly taking from third party, and I'm directly giving the hard-coded value here URL, right? Which is perfectly fine. But I have a scenario. The image is in my desktop. The image is on my desktop. Let me save this, save images, desktop, new folder, images. Okay, Salesforce Dreamforce 2017. Okay, let's see where is the Dreamforce. Save it. Right, I say, for example, this image is, I wanted to save it on desktop. Now currently this image, whatever the second image is there, it's in my system. How can I show the image that are in the system onto the Visualforce page? How can I show that? So for that, there are 3 steps which we have to do. Let me comment this. It's saving. So right now there is no image. Okay. So currently on my desktop, I have a images folder. Inside the image, I have a Dreamforce. Now from the system to Salesforce, I wanted to show. First of all, there are 2 steps. How can I load my local images into the Salesforce? That is the first question. So in order to load my local images into Salesforce, we have something called static resource. Static resource. What is this static resource? It's not only related to images. If you have any zip file or any JavaScript or any documentation, you have it and you wanted to load it on system. It could be any file, document, zip, or JPG, image, PNG, JavaScript, text file, anything. When I say anything which are related to the okay, so I can choose any file. It says here all files. See here, I can choose HTML, JavaScript, text file, PDF, anything I can choose it. So let me choose the image that we want, right? So let's give the name as Dream. Okay. Now cache control has to be always public. So then only everybody in the system can able to view this. If you give private, whoever is having the access, admin access, whoever is having the admin access, only those members can see the images or this file. For example, you are implementing a page, okay? On that page, you added the static resource reference. Let's take Facebook, okay? On the Facebook, you wanted to do the advertisement related to the vehicle, okay? So vehicle image is loaded in the static resource. And you have implemented a Visualforce page to show the vehicle image on the Facebook. If you give here private, only you can view if you are opening within the Salesforce. Public means which can be accessed by anybody. So whenever you upload a file, could be any file, make sure you select the cache control equal to public. Okay. So now we are saving the static resource. Static resource. That means these files are constant. It's a static. We cannot change that. If you have to change, if you want to change this, you go for view file, which will download it and again upload it here. Fine. But you cannot edit and change it. Edit option is only for changing the name and the control. You cannot change the file. You cannot edit the file basically. Right. So now I have a file in Salesforce. From local system, I have uploaded my file into Salesforce. Right. Now let's go ahead and apply this. So in order to pull the image from the resource, right now my page is in resource, right? So resource is basically, it's a universal table. I can say universal table. I can directly call without declaration of standard controller. I do not need a standard controller here anymore to call this universal table, right? If I have to call the account, contact, opportunity, I need to declare a standard controller. For resource table, I need not to do anything here, standard controller. And how do I call from the resource? In order to call this, I have to use exclamation dollar. Exclamation, we use it for everybody. Okay, if I wanted to call, I wanted to get a account fields, account dot first name, account dot last name. If I wanted to get the field, I have to use exclamation. Exclamation is nothing but, what is this exclamation? It is nothing but, if I want to connect any table, or any field in Salesforce. In order to connect any table or any field, what we do, we use the exclamation, right? And dollar, because I'm calling the universal table, dollar resource. And then what we have to give? We have to give the name of the file. What is the name of my file? Dream. Dream. Right? So everything we have to put it in curly brace. Now I have added the static resource here. But how Visualforce will know that this is an image, or this is a table, or this is a value, or this is what it is? Visualforce will not know, because I just simply added there exclamation dollar resource dot dream. So in order to make Visualforce to understand, I have to give, okay, this is a Apex image. Apex image. Now I have to give the value, because URL is directly connected to the third-party system. Value, which I am passing the value here. Let's save this. Okay, let me go back. See, here it is displaying the image, tab, tab 2, tab 3, tab 4, tab 5. Right? It is displaying the image. So what is right now? It happened. What magic happened right now? What magic happened right now? Okay. So this is my local system. This is my local system. Image is in my local system. Okay, this is my local system. And this is Salesforce. The outer box is Salesforce. Inside the Salesforce, one box is static resource. One box is static resource. And another box is Visualforce page. Right? So the first step what I have done, whatever the local system has the images, I pushed it to static resource. I pushed here to static resource. So all the images or all the files will be in the static resource. Now whatever the images are here, only the related image I wanted to show, not all the resources. I do not want to show all the resources. So whatever the resource, whatever the specific image I wanted to show, I'm just trying to get the information from static resource to Visualforce page. Static resource to Visualforce page. How I'm doing that? Using the exclamation dollar resource dot whatever the file name is there, the same file name, right? And this static resources, it's a universal table. Anybody can log in. Universal table, anybody can log in. There is no access kind of a private static resource, like only private public is there for the file, but anybody can access, anybody can go into the static resource. Like if I have to go to the object, I need to have a permission on the account object. Read, create, edit option should be there, then only I can able to create a account record, right? But static resource is a table, but it does not require any CRUD access. Anybody can access the static resource because this is a universal table. There are few of them in Salesforce which are called as a universal table. Anybody can access. So in order to pull this static resource into Visualforce page, I have used the exclamation dollar resource dot the file name. What is my file name? Dream, right? And if I see the output is displaying image, and below I can see the tabs. Now we have seen the URL and value from the local system. Let's assume that there is a scenario I wanted to access from third-party system. There is an image in third-party system. I cannot download it. I cannot refer the URL because some images, there are few images. It doesn't allow you to copy the image or save image because those are restricted. Right? Those are restricted images. If I have to say example, tax, related to tax images, those are restricted, right? And income tax, and then we have something called government related images. We cannot download those because those are restricted. So in that case, if I wanted to get the image from the third party, how can I do that? In order to get the image from the third party, Apex image does not work. What we have to use, apex colon iframe. Apex colon iframe has to be declared. So apex dot iframe is basically to capture images from third-party system. And image, I can either give the URL or I can load it from the my system or static resource. How can I do it? Using the value equal to whatever the static resource file is there, the same file I can give it. Okay. So apex iframe. So what I have to give in the apex iframe, let me see what are the keywords are there. Okay, so I have only one thing which is called as a source. Source. There is no URL, there is no value. I just have a source. Height, width is there, title is there, scrolling bar. So these all are fine. So only source is available. So let's assume that let me open the link. Okay. So this is assume that this is a third party URL. Okay. So I have a third party URL. Let me put it here. Let's see how it is going to display. Let's go ahead and see the output. See here. Along with the cookies, it is coming along with the cookies. I'm just displaying the third party system, right? I'm just displaying the third party URL. It is coming along with the cookies. And I can do all the options. I can go to everything. Whatever the actual page is there, that same thing I can do it here as well. Right? So for example, like we have seen height and width. So for image, for iframe also, I can adjust the height and width. Let's say that, let's take the height 500 and width equal to, let's take the same thing 500, refresh. Why it is not refreshing it? Yeah. See here. It's coming in smaller, right? It's coming in smaller. Before it was coming in big. Right now I gave the 500, height and width are 500. So that's the reason it gave me in just a column one. Now, if you see the actual page, this has a scroll bar, right? But my page does not have any scroll bar. It just stopped whatever the, it's like a fixed box. It is just showing me whatever is fit into this box, it is just showing me, right? So what I can do is I can add a scroll bar also. Let's say that, let me add the scroll bar. Scrolling equal to true. Scrolling equal to true. And also let's add frame border. Frame border equal to true. Let's see how it displays. Okay, it's saved. Let's go ahead and refresh. See here. Recheck. See, all the page is displaying right now. Everything is displaying. Before it was just stuck here. It was not moving down. So right now I added the scroll bar, it is displaying everything. Now we are done with the images. Now let's apply some colors. Let's see how it displays, right? So for that, see here you are able to see the tabs, right? There are some tabs here. Tab 1, tab 2, tab 3, tab 4, right? So I decrease the zoom, or I increase the zoom. So that's the reason this page came here. Right, let me increase the height here so that it will match us with the other one. Let's say 800. Control S. It's too big. Is it so? Yeah. 800 is too big. Let me take 600. So related to images style, it's always R&D. You will not know the exact, right? It's always you have to go with the R&D. Fine. Now that should be fine. Now let's say, let me add some text here. Some static. Hi, how are you? I'm fine. How about you? I'm good too. Right, so this is the some text which is, let me add the paragraph. So for breaking, there is a different, okay, you might have heard about the paragraph, right? So if I give the paragraph to break the word, if I give the paragraph, you will see the difference. What will happen if I give the paragraph, if I give the break? There is a break also here, right? This is a self close, so I'll do the self close. And let me give the paragraph here. I'll show you what is the difference between the paragraph and break. Now let's say refresh, saving. Okay, saved. Refresh. See here, the text is displaying, hi, how are you? See the space between the hi, how are you? I'm fine. And see the space between the how about you? I'm good too. Break is nothing but just the next line. It will print just next line. If I give the paragraph, between the two lines, it will add one more line. So that is the difference between the paragraph and break, right? Okay, now let's go ahead and implement something. Let's assume that, like whenever we log into the Salesforce or Trailhead, we see your name here, right? My name, it will come here T1, and it will show email address. Like for Trailhead, whenever you log in, it shows your name and it shows your email. Same thing, whoever log into this page, whoever is logged into this page, I wanted to capture that user information. I wanted to capture the user first name, last name, and the email. And email. Whoever log into this page, when I say log into this page, whoever comes and open up this page, I wanted to capture the person, first name, last name, and the email. How can I do that? So let me add on top, logged in user. Okay, logged in user, right? So we have another universal table which is called as a user, which is called as a user. We have to always use the exclamation dollar because I'm going to get the universal table data, which is called as user. User is another universal table which I can directly access the user information without declaration of standard controller equal to user. I do not need that. User dot first name. User dot first name. And then also I'll take the user dot dollar user dot last name. Dollar user dot last name. Then let's give the paragraph. Now you all might be aware what is the, when I use a paragraph, how it is going to display, so that you can imagine. Now next thing I wanted to display is email. Email. How can I get the email? Same universal table user dot email. When I say user first name, user last name, user email, from where it is going to get me the information? We have a user details, right? If you go to the profile, manage users. There is a users right here, users table. This is the user table. From here, it is going to get me the details. So if I log in, it has to give me T1 because this is my first name, last name, and this is my email. No, this is not my email. That is a username. Okay, this is my email. So it has to get me those information, right? So let me go ahead and save this. Let's see how it is going to display. See, logged in user T1 and I gave the paragraph. So that's the reason. Let me give here also paragraph. See, so my username and the email, right? It is coming the username and email. From where it is getting me? From the user table. Right now it is displaying as a bit small. So let me add some tags here. You all know HTML has the H1, H2, H3, right? So let me add logged in user as a H1. And that's a name is normal. So same thing for here as well. H1. Control S. So basically, whatever the style you want, you can do that. See here, it is in bold, right? Before it was normal. It's highlighted. Right now it is highlighted because we use the H1. Right? So whatever the way we want, however the style we want, we can display that. Let me say one more thing. So let's assume that I wanted to add a link. Like if you go to the trial head or if you switch to the lightning and if you click on your profile. So here the hyperlink is coming, right? Switch to Salesforce. This hyperlink. how to add this link. Let's see, let's go ahead and see. And if I click on this, it is redirecting me to the classic, right? So let's go ahead and see how to add that link. So in order to add, that is the output link basically. The link is displaying outside. So we know in HTML how to use it, but in Apex, how to use the link. So link does not have any action there, like only on click action is there, but display part is output link. See here, we have a output link. So in output link, what are the keywords are there? Let's go ahead and see. So let's use the value. Right, so let me add the same URL. This is the third party URL. As soon as we click on this link, it should redirect me to the Dreamforce. Now, this is the link, but actual what it should display. Like click here will be there, right? Sometimes whenever you are reading any blogs or anything, it says that click here. Here will be, it's a hyperlink. And if you click on the here word, it will redirect it to the another URL. So same thing we are implementing in the Visualforce page. So for example, click on or click here to visit Dreamforce 2021. Let's save this. Let's go to the page. It's refreshing it. See here, it is displaying. So if I hover it, it is displaying in the different color. If I remove it, normal. If I click on this, it is redirecting to the page. Right? If I click on that one, it is redirecting to the page. Let me close all of this. Now let's go ahead and apply the styles for this. How to apply the styles? How to apply the styles? So there are three ways to apply a style. Three ways we can apply a style. One is called as an inline style. And second one is called as an internal CSS. And third one, style class. And last one is basically internal CSS and style CSS will be combined. Internal CSS and style CSS will be combined. And the other one, the last one is called as a external style. External style. So three ways which we can style. One is an internal style. And second one is internal CSS. Also, along with the internal CSS, we use the style class. And third one is external style. Okay. What is the inline style? Let's understand what is the inline style. Inline style is basically within the component. Within the component, if I am adding any style. Within the component, if I am adding any style, which is called as an inline style. It's similar like a inline editing. You all know inline editing, right? It's like a inline editing. Let me show you inline editing. Switch to lightning. Okay. So if you go to the account, let me switch this app. Let me go to the service. Let's go account. Okay. So inline styling is nothing but within that field, I'm just editing it. Right? I'm just editing that. So this is called as a inline editing. Which is called as a inline editing. That means within the component, if I'm adding the style to only that particular component or that particular tag, then it is called as a inline style. Let's say that I have a tab 1, tab 3, tab 2, tab 4, all these are there, right? 5 tabs are there. If I wanted to apply a style for only tab 1, the tab 1 color should display in a different. So I'll apply a style only for tab 1, which is called as an inline style. And now coming to the internal CSS. Internal CSS is nothing but a collection of components. Collection of components. That means all the tabs should be in the same color, but it should be custom color. Whatever the tab 1 color is there, green color is there, then I wanted to apply same color for tab 2, tab 3, tab 4, tab 5. So what I can do is I can globally declare that style and use it wherever I need it. Right? External style is nothing but I am importing some style from the third party or from my system. From external, I'm importing a style to the Visualforce page. Let's see one by one example how to do the inline styling so that we'll get the clarity. So let's assume that here output link is there, right? So let me add some paragraph so that it will divide one line. So that the link will be highlighted little. Okay. Now, so for example, this URL is there. Click here to visit Dreamforce 2021. Let's say that I wanted to apply a style for this. I wanted to apply style for output link. So every component will have a style command. Every component will have a style. So let's say that I wanted to increase the font size. I wanted to increase the font size. I wanted to increase the font size. Okay, how do I get the font size? Here in the HTML. Go to HTML styles. Or let me search here font size. W3 school, right, font size. So CSS font, we have a font size here. Let's assume that, let me take the same thing, font size equal to 40 pixel. 40 pixel is it's a very bigger, so I'll put 20 pixel. Let's say, and let me go ahead and see the output. It's there. Saving. Okay, click on preview. See here, it is highlighted, right? Before it was showing a very small. Now font size I have increased to 20. Font size I have increased to 20. If I increase 40, then it will be much bigger. Observe this. See here, it's coming very big. Right? And also I wanted to add a color which is a Salesforce color. So let me see CSS text color. Let's say color equal to blue. Right? So always after the colon we have to add the style. So what I am doing right now, I am doing the inline styling. I am applying the style to only particular component, only to output link. I am not applying the style for anybody else. Only to the output link, right? Only to output link I am doing it. So see here, it is coming in the blue color. In case if I want a CSS style color, I can use the Salesforce color. Salesforce color code. Right, it is a 17. Salesforce color code is, let's take, let me take blue green. So basically we can apply anything, whatever is needed. If I take a grayscale, let's take a grayscale. Blue green. Let's see how it is displaying. See, it's in different color. If I highlight, it shows in a Salesforce color. Right? So that is a inline styling. How to find which color should I need to apply, or which color code should I need to use it? Simply go to the CSS, which is in the W3 school. Try to find whatever is relevant related to your requirement and find that. So same thing if I apply this Salesforce color code. If I apply color code instead of blue green, let me add this color code. Let's save. See here, it is coming in Salesforce. So similar like a Salesforce buttons will be there, right? Or the logo symbol. So similar like it is coming in the same color. Or else I wanted to apply font style, like we have a italic style, right? So let me apply the font style. You can find this from the CSS. I'm writing it because I remember. Italic. See here, it changed. It is displaying in the italic format. Now here tab, let's assume that in tab 1, I wanted to display the some calculation. right? I wanted to display some calculation in tab 1. So let me add. Calculation is required in 2 fields. Enter first number, last number. Or enter first number, second number. Or enter length, breadth. So this is an input field. I'm going to expect an input from user. So in that case, what I have to use it, I have to use the Apex form, right? Because I'm going to expect some inputs from user. So inside this Apex form, let me build the Apex page block. Apex page block. And let's add the title equal to calculation. Now, inside this page block, let's go ahead and add the page block section. Right? And this section is title equal to, let's say that area or some calculation. Right? And inside this page block section, let's add the item Apex colon page block section item. Right? So inside this, let me add some output label. I need a label and I need an input field. Both of them I need. So first thing, let me add the label Apex colon output label. So the label name is, let's add the value enter first name, right? And then I need input text Apex colon input text, right? So same thing, let me add 2 other section items. This is for enter second name or number. This is number. This is also number input text. And the next one, let me copy this. Result. Right? And that's all. Now we can add as many as we want. Like here also we can add another page block section. This is a basic calculation. Now let me end this. So let's assume that I have added this information, right? Now let's go ahead and see how it displays. I say I have not saved it. Let's save. It's refreshing. See here. Tab 1 shows calculation, some calculation, basic calculation. If I click on tab 2, gone. If I click on tab 1, because I have implemented the logic or the whatever I have written the page block, I have implemented only in the tab 1. Whenever user clicks on a tab 1, I wanted to show these information. Like I can enter 45 and second number 23. Now, in order to calculate, what I can do is I can simply add one button. Right? So one button I can add it after the page block section items. So Apex colon. How to add the command? We have a command button and the value equal to calculate. Value equal to calculate. Let's say here it is 34. This doesn't work. Calculate doesn't work because it's not a predefined one. It's not a predefined value. Predefined values are save, create, edit, cancel. Calculate is the custom, which I wanted to write a logic on that. When I click on a calculate, either I have to multiply first number, second number, or I should add a addition. Whatever the logic is there that I have to implement in the on clicking of calculate, I have to implement the logic in Apex, right? That we will come later. But right now we will see how the UI is there. So assume that there is a calculate button is there, right? And if I want a different color in each component, like here first name different color and this one different color or different style, or in case if I wanted to capture same color in multiple component, if I wanted to capture same color like these two should show same color, right? In that case, inline style does not work. For example, let's assume that I have a 20 fields, 20 input fields, and all the 20 input fields, I want each one color, same color, whether it is a sky blue or whatever the color is there. I want all the fields to be in the same color. I cannot repeat the same code for the 20 fields. I cannot write the inline styling. I cannot write the inline styling for rest all 20 fields, which I'm repeating the code, right? Instead of doing the inline style, what I can do is I can implement a style globally within that Visualforce page, which is called as an internal CSS. Instead of repeating a same inline style, I can create a centralized place, centralized style where Visualforce page can use it whenever it is required, right? Whenever it is required, they can use it. Let's assume that, okay? Let's assume, okay, right now, this is entire body is displaying as a white, the backside background and entire body is displaying a white color. So if I have to implement a style for all of them, like internal CSS, if I have to implement, that always has to be inside the style command. We have a style tag. All the styles for the internal CSS will be sitting between these. Now, there are some standard keys are there, like body, H1, paragraph. Paragraph, whenever somebody use the H1, you wanted to apply something, and body is the which is common, right? So inside this, if I wanted to add some background color, here it is showing the background color is some white color. I cannot identify where is my background because it's overwriting everything. So in order to identify that, what I can use is I can use the background color. I can use the background. Let's assume that background color equal to yellow. I'm just taking some example. Let's go ahead and see the output. See? Oh my God. It's too highlighting it. Right? So let me take the light blue. So background color equal to light blue. And also I'll take the, let me say, let's say border style. Border style double, because I wanted to highlight it 2 lines. Let's say that border style equal to double. And also I wanted to apply, let's say border color hyphen color. The border color has to be in. To highlight that, I'm just giving red so that it will be highlighted. Light blue, see here, the border is highlighted, right? The back is coming as a light blue and the border is highlighted with red, and the border style is double. There are 2 lines are coming, right? 2 lines are coming. If it is not visible, I can increase that. In order to increase the line, we have a border hyphen width. We have a border hyphen width equal to, let's say that 10 pixel, so that we can see that. See here, now you can see 2 lines, right? It's highlighted with the 2 lines and all the background is in the light blue. Same thing I can apply H1, like here we are using the H1, right? So for example, H1 is used here, here, and anywhere in the component. Like multiple places I'm using the H1. All H1 text or whatever it is, wherever I'm using the H1, all the H1s should be in different color. Let's assume that all the H1, let's say color equal to, let's say, in order to highlight that, I'm giving the green, but let's see that, or we can give yellow also. Green is not visible, let me give yellow. Let me give red, okay, so that it will be highlighted. Okay, so you can see all the, wherever the H1 is used, it is displaying the red, right? This is called as a internal CSS. This is called as a internal CSS. So far what we have understood, how to do the, I'm just repeating this. We have learned how to insert images into Visualforce page using the iframe image by giving the image from the Google or from the desktop. I can load it iframe in order to capture the third-party URL or third-party image if I wanted to show. That is the one, and we are learning the style, inline styling and then internal styling, right? And we'll see how to use that. Now let's continue further. Okay, style, whenever I use the style is nothing but I am using the inline style. Okay, we also have something called style class. Let me show it for another one. Let's say that input class. We also have a style class. If I use style, then I'm going with the inline style. So I wanted to use the internal CSS. So let me use the style class. Let's say style class equal to my style. I can give anything. This is a custom style which I'm going to implement. Style class equal to my style. Like I have a, what is my plan? Whatever the fields are there here, I wanted to apply the same style. Okay, I wanted to apply the same style. Let me copy this. Second also I wanted to use same style, right? So now let's go ahead and declare this style. This is a custom. This is a custom style. It's not from HTML or it's not from CSS. It's my custom. Whenever I'm implementing a custom CSS, we have to put dot. If you do not put the dot, it doesn't work. Let me show you that. So let's remove this. Okay. So I'm using the my style. Let's say I wanted to text boxes I have applied, right? So let me say color equal to white and background equal to green. And let me apply. Where did I apply? I applied into the input text. Inside the tab 1, I have a page block. Inside that, I have a section items, enter first name, second number, and the result. I did apply style class to the enter first number and second number. Let me go ahead and see. So it didn't apply. Reason, it doesn't think it is a custom. If I put a dot, now see, it is applying it. If I enter 3464, whatever it may be, right? If I enter 78, right? If I'm implementing a custom CSS, always use the dot. Whenever we are declaring it, dot. For example, same style I can also apply to the tab. Let me copy, because every component will have a style and style classes. See, style class is there. I can apply same style class, right? And also let me increase the font so that we will see that font size. Let me increase the font size. Let me increase the font size to 40 pixels so that we can view. See, I just applied the style to tab 1. I did not apply rest all. I just applied to tab 1. It is too big, right? Let me reduce it to 20. Saving. See, right? At least I can view it, right? So tab 1, if you compare this and this, it is bigger than this. But if I go to tab 2, I do not see anything. If I go to tab 1, I could see all of them, right? So if I want to apply all the tabs, go ahead and apply it. If I wanted to apply all the tab, what are the tabs are I have? I want everybody to have same style. Go ahead and apply. Let's say, see here, the background is green and the text color is white. So that's what I have given. Text color is white, I have given. Background, I gave green. All right. Now, moving on. For example, I have here output link, right? The link is displaying very corner. It's just attaching to the border. I wanted to bring this link in center. I wanted to bring this link to the center. I can bring whatever the way I want, I can bring it. Let's assume that another way of doing the styling is we have a div command. We have a div command, right? So let me put Okay. So let me put output link inside the div, right? So we learned so far style class, right? There is another one which we have inside the div, which is called as a class. Class is also going to use the internal CSS, right? Only style is inline. Class, style class, whatever the we are adding, everything is internal CSS. Let me add some text here, my link. Let's assume that my link or my box. Okay, let's assume my box. Now let me go ahead and declare this my box dot my box. Inside this my box, let's add some space in front of that link. So in order to add the space in CSS, we have something called margin left. Okay, so margin left is there. You can find it in the CSS. Margin hyphen left. Let me add some space like a 600 or 500 pixel. Right, and let me reduce this to 20. Now it came into the center, right? I reduce the text size, font size, so that's the reason it decreased. Okay, now it's coming in center. See, and we are done with the internal CSS. We understood the inline style, internal CSS. Now let's go ahead and see the external CSS. The third one is external CSS. So external CSS is, let me show you first example. Let me remove these all styles. Control X, save. See, it's refreshing. Now all the style gone. Everything is gone. I do not have any style here because I removed everything. External CSS is nothing but, let's assume that I have some file in my desktop. Let me open Notepad. Okay. So let's paste it here. Same style, I'm pasting it. Save as. Save as. We have to save this file and we're saving it. You can also you can download the CSS file from the Google. That is also another option. Or you can download the JavaScript file. Okay, you can download the complete package of CSS. That should be also fine. Let me take one example. When we use the external CSS is bank. Okay, when we have a bank company, I'm implementing a app, Lightning app or Salesforce app for banking purpose. They can raise a ticket, issues, credit card, debit card, what are the card details are there, they can enter the information. Wherever they go, wherever they navigate inside that app, I want a same color, right? I want a same color. IndusInd Bank has some color to it, right? Kind of a gray color or something. Standard Charter will have a blue and white. So wherever they navigate, the same combination of color should be appear. For those requirements, what we do is we save the CSS in desktop and we use it external CSS. First, let me save, then I'll talk more about it. My style, right? My style. dot css. Dot css, let's say desktop images, right? This is a css. If I say all files, right? So always save the, if you want to refer styling, always save with the css. CSS full form again, Cascade Style Sheet. Fine. So let me save this. Save. Okay, done. Now where I have to go in order to pull, in order to load my local system file to the Salesforce, where I have to go? I have to go to the static resource. Whatever the file, if I wanted to pull or if I wanted to put it into the Salesforce from local system or from third party, always where is the place we have to go? Static resource. Now click on new. Let's say st style, choose the file, my style CSS file, and let's give the public. Save. Right, it's saved. Now let me go ahead and use this style. Apex colon style sheet, and only two I have value. What is the value that I need to give? The static resource value, right? Exclamation dollar. How to use this is a universal table. Resource dot st. Let's save it. Now let me go ahead and see. Hopefully it should work. It is going to take some time, but definitely this is going to apply. That will work, but it is going to take some time in order to load that. Now, is it clear for everybody?
Yes, clear.
Everybody. Inline styling, because these are the real time one which we are going to use it. In real time, the main thing which we are going to use is if you are working in a development from the scratch, this is the best one to use it, Inline Style. If you are modifying the existing application, then these two will be working. Existing application, if you are modifying it, or you do not have any style, only somewhere one or two fields have a style, rest all are normal. So in that case, you can use the inline style or internal CSS. But if you are implementing a development from the scratch, go with this Inline Style. Right? Now we understood how to go ahead and apply the style for the Visualforce page. Now, next thing is that now we will learn which all places we can use these Visualforce pages. Which all are places? We can use Visualforce pages. That means I have implemented a Visualforce page, right? But what are the places I can use this code in order to override something within the Salesforce? What are the places I can utilize my Visualforce page? One is we can use it in the tab. We can use it in button. Visualforce pages can be used in tab. Visualforce pages can be used in button. Visualforce pages can be used in link. Visualforce pages can be used in page layout. Visualforce pages can be used in communication, letterhead. Visualforce pages can be used in object help. These all places we can apply our Visualforce code. Let's go ahead and see how to do for the tab. Okay, if you go to the tab, okay, setup, search for a tab, you'll see the create tab. Okay, when you go to the customizing the tab, you will see here Visualforce tab. Click on new. You can create what are the pages are there, like what is the right now which we have created. We have 0206. Okay, let me take this. So tab label, let's say my VF, my name automatically will come. Style, let's apply the style. Credit card. Next. Okay, default on, which all are places I wanted to all default on. Let me put it everywhere. Let's say next. Only which all are apps. This is basically custom app. Which all are app we wanted to see. We are in sales, right? So let me add sales, service. I think that should be fine. Save. See, as soon as I save, here is the tab which came. If I click on my VF, see here, it's displaying it. Right? So, because I removed the header, that's the reason it is everything taking out. If I remove this and this, let's save this. Okay, let me click on this my VF. See here. It's coming along with the header. If I click on a dashboard, it goes to the dashboard. If I click on my VF, it comes in VF. If I click on a contact, it will come to the contact. Right? This is how we apply the custom Visualforce pages. If I have to give a scenario, as soon as I click on an account, it should directly open the new creation of record. So whatever this page is there, as soon as I click on account, it should open a model to create an account, to create a new account. Right? So that's how we will apply the tab. So let me go to the next step. Let me go to the account page. So account, let's say account page layout. Right, let me go ahead and edit this page layout, account layout, standard layout. Okay, in the standard layout, let me add a new section here. On top, it's not detail, new section, or let me, that should be fine. Okay, and here I can add a Visualforce page. See here, it is displaying only 2 Visualforce pages. What is the reason why it is displaying only 2? And the one which we created right now, it is not displaying. What we created today, we created the VF_0206. It's not displaying here. It is displaying only my first page and contact page. The reason is, whatever the Visualforce pages that uses the standard controller of the same object, This is on the account object. It will show only the Visualforce pages that are applicable to that particular object. When I say that are applicable, the Visualforce pages, those are using the standard controller equal to account. Only those Visualforce pages only we can see here. If you are in the contact or if you are in the opportunity, it will show only the opportunity Visualforce page. Wherever the standard controller equal to opportunity is there, only that particular Visualforce page will be displayed. Right now I can drag here my first page. Can drag my first page, and let's say, now let me go to the accounts. I'll open any record. See, this is my custom, right? It's inside, it is displaying the different values. This is my custom details. Okay, now coming to the communication letterhead. When I say communication letterhead is nothing but email templates. Email templates. In email template, if I click on a new template, it asks me, you wanted to go with the Visualforce or HTML custom text. If you select a Visualforce, we can go ahead and create a Visualforce, and we can include that particular Visualforce here. Whatever the Visualforce is there. So let me give some template name, my VF template. Description I need not to give. Email subject. If I wanted to mention email subject, let's assume that welcome. Type equal to, let's say contact. Related type equal to, let's say account, or I can give anything. Let's say, so if I click on the edit template, now here I can implement my own Visualforce page, right? So this is the Visualforce page I can implement. And same thing for the next one is object. If you go to the object, you create a objects, right? When you create a object, if you go for the new custom object, there is an option. You will give the label and your plural label, object name, description you will give. Here is the one where we will apply it. Context sensitive help setting. If you select a open the standard salesforce.com help and training window, it will take you to the standard Salesforce help. If you want any customization, which is nothing but a Visualforce page. If you want any Visualforce page, open a new window using the Visualforce page. So I can customize my help and training. I can give my Visualforce page whenever user clicks on a help, object help. Whenever user clicks on a object help, it will redirect it to the Visualforce page. Clear? Any questions so far? Let's have a 5 minutes for question answer session.
It's clear, ma'am, clear.
Sorry?
It's clear till here, but maybe after session, can we connect for 2 minutes?
Yeah, sure. So one last thing. Okay. So how can I know that which command to use it? Like we have so many commands here. How can I know that I have to use the output field here or apex column here? How do I know that? How can I remember it? You need not to remember the commands. You need not to remember the commands. As soon as you create a Visualforce page, okay, go to the here in setup, type Visualforce pages. If you have created anything, open that. Okay, click on edit. After the edit, there is a component references. There is a button called component references. If you click on that component references, if you click on component references, it is going to show all of them. All of them it is going to show. Like we have learned Apex form, right? How to use the Apex form. It gave everything. What are the keywords within the Apex form and how to use the Apex form? Here is the usage. You will see here is the usage. And we have used the input field, right? Input hidden, input secret, input text, right? We use those of them. And also we use the output link, output panel, output text, page block button, page block section item, page block table, page messages. So these all we have used it, right? So today assignment is, this is the one. Go through all of this. And there are some other things which you need not to worry about that, which is called as a Apex or C colon, which starts with a C colon. These all are related to the lightning components. Wherever you see Apex, the command or the component starts with Apex is for Visualforce page. So only these only very few of them, okay? Very few of them are there with the Apex. Like tab panel, we have seen that, scroll bar, toolbar. Okay, so which are the one which you see, C colon, charter, ignore those for now, we will see later. And there are which are related to messaging. Okay, messaging is related to email template. We did create the email template for this messaging, right? I have so far not seen any project which we are using this Visualforce email template. So you need not to worry about that, because real time I have not seen like one person, maybe any company, because right now the focus is on like how to use the Apex styling part, which is similar like a lightning aura, and how to import a lightning component into the Visualforce. Only that particular thing which everybody takes right now. This messaging attachment email header, I have not seen any project that they are using this. If the project is like 4 years, if the project is 4 years or 5 years back or 10 years back, in those cases only, they might be using it, but I'm there also, I'm like, 99% I'm sure that nobody using this messaging. 1% I don't know the bad luck of that. And there are site Google Analytics. If you wanted to, for example, if you have a Google Map, Gmap, or some analytics, you wanted to use it, right? In that case, we use the Google Analytic tracking, right? So they have given some example. If you can directly copy and paste it, it will work. You will understand this part. Okay, so we have seen the column, right? And one more thing, whenever you are going through this code, okay, whenever you are going through this code, if you see anywhere which says that controller, here it is, controller equal to data list. Okay, if you see this kind of a controller, ignore that. We will come to that point, because controller is nothing but we have to implement a logic in Apex, and we have to call that logic inside the Visualforce page. That's how the controller will come. So right now we are into the UI part. So almost everything UI related, everything is completed today. Hopefully tomorrow we'll start the business logic. And one more thing I wanted to cover. So for example, let me close this. Let me preview. Okay, so for example, you wanted to see the code in the same page. Right now what we are doing, we are implementing the code in developer console and previewing here, right? But in case if you wanted to see the code bottom, there is an option in Salesforce. Click on this, go to my profile, click on yours, go to my settings. Okay, go to the personal advanced user details. Okay, edit your user details, and there is an option here which is called as a developer mode. Yeah, this is on development mode. Check this, turn on this and save it. So what will happen if you refresh it? Let me open setup or setup Visualforce page, right? DF 2006 preview. See here, the bottom you will see the code, right? All the code will be up here. Now if I remove this break and if I add a paragraph and let's say it's refreshed, I can check the output, I can update here. So code and output will be in the same page. You can debug or save as whatever the things you wanted to do, everything you can do it. You can undo the changes, redo the changes. You can go to the specific line or you can increase the lines. If it is not visible, you can increase it. And for example, here let me add. Let's say hello, I am the app. Save. See, I can see here, right? I can do both the things in same page instead of shifting. Instead of shifting to developer console, if you think this is easy for you, you can do it, or you can debug here from here. And from here also you can go to the component references, which will take you to the component references, Visualforce component. This has a mixture of everything, but just focus on only the one which is starting with Apex namespace. Clear? And another thing, For example, tomorrow this Visualforce is pushed into the production, right? And you wanted to see which all are places the Visualforce is, like this component is used, which all are places, what all the places this component is used. What you can do is click on this, where is this used? It will show you the list. It will show you the list, right? Same with the fields also. This is a standard functionality. Like if I go to the account, if I go to the fields, there are some custom fields are there, right? If I click on where is this used, it used in all these layouts. Also, it will give the Visualforce pages, flows, process builder, wherever it is used, you will get to know that this information. Clear? I think most of the things we covered today, Visualforce. Let me stop my recording. And the assignment, everybody clear, right? Go through the Visualforce commands. How to view the Visualforce commands? Go to the Visualforce pages. Click on any Visualforce page that you have created. Click on edit. And then click on the component references. It will redirect it to the Visualforce component. So the assignment is understand everything which starts with the apex. Go through these all commands and understand. Let me know if you have any questions. At least you should be knowing by this time iframe, image, right? Input checkbox, input field, input file, input hidden, input secret text, output text area, input text area. These things you might be aware of it. Like half of the things we covered. So that's the main thing which we use it in the real time. Action status, action support will come to that. Don't worry that once we are doing the business logic, where we will come in. Because for this, it's required a business logic. The controller is required. Fine. Okay, let me stop recording.